So let's talk about some valid reasons not to like the new Toyota Tacoma. Now, if you've been living under a rock, Toyota redesigned the Tacoma. It's a 2024 version. It's the Gen 4. And what I'm in right now is the TRD Sport. You can tell, obviously, by the hood scoop, which I think they did an even better job on. I've always been a fan of the hood scoops, but honestly, the third gens kind of sat on the hood. This is more integrated into the hood, if you like hood scoops at all. But there's been a lot of videos posted out there, people kind of philosophizing, I guess, talking about what ifs. Well, I want to talk about valid reasons not to like the new Toyota Tacoma. Things that you might find unappealing, if you will. Let's get it out of the way right away. The elephant in the room, the pricing. Obviously, Toyota raised the pricing on this truck as much as, I don't know, $5,000 to maybe $8,000. Even higher, I suppose, if you completely spec out the truck rather, as compared to previous generations, Gen 3, Gen 2, Gen 1. But honestly, if you go all the way back to the Gen 2s and the Gen 1s, I mean, it's like going back and comparing the price of a 1970 pickup truck to a 2024. Obviously, everything is more expensive now. But nonetheless, it is more expensive, and that is a valid reason to not like the new Toyota Tacoma. None of us want to pay more money, right? Secondly is the appearance of it, the aesthetics. They did change the design of the truck a bit. It's beefier. It has more lines, more curves, more seams, if you will, creases. Some people don't like that. I get it. And it certainly is a valid reason not to like the truck. And I have to say, when I saw it for the first time myself, I wasn't really a big fan either. You know, it took a little while for the truck to grow on me. And I think when I really started to like the truck is when I saw the TRD Pro version, because that version of the truck was pretty darn good looking from the renderings and guesses and all that stuff. And honestly, I think the TRD Pro version, probably the Trail Hunter version, are the best two as far as aesthetics or looks go when it comes to the Toyota Tacoma. It's not that I don't like what I have, I do, but I think just like taking steps forward in redesigns, if you take another step forward in the models of the truck, the TRD Pro and the Trail Hunter are probably the best looking. Anyway, it is a valid reason, obviously. It's a personal reason. I mean, if you don't like the truck because you just don't like the way that it looks, it makes perfect sense. And that's no talking heads guess or anything like that. You like it or you don't. Let's talk about the interior. You know, I've heard comments and seen videos of people talking about how it's cheap. They don't like the interior. There's too much plastic. There's too many hard surfaces. Honestly, after living with this truck for a while myself, I really don't know what they're talking about. I mean, in any vehicle, you're going to have plastic, you're going to have hard surfaces, soft surfaces, different looking surfaces. I really don't see that big of a difference myself. Certainly nothing that I would point at the Gen 3 and go, wow, this was way better on the inside as far as materials, appearance, feel, all that kind of stuff. I think they did a pretty darn good job with it. I've even seen some people commenting on how much more they like the steering wheel, how it looks more luxurious or upgraded. I don't know that I personally agree with that. Honestly, I really don't care much for the center treatment here. But again, that's kind of a personal preference, right? You either like it or you don't. Certainly, the way the steering wheel looks is not enough for me to ding the truck. But I love how some of the talking heads out there who haven't even been in the truck, you know, they're peeking through the windows at the car lots and talking about how bad the interior looks. Unbelievable. I don't know how you can possibly give an honest opinion without experiencing the truck. And you know, that's one of the reasons I bought this truck, was because I wanted to give it a chance, experience it myself. not just look at pictures and pronounce judgments, right? I think it's a pretty good interior, but once again, if you don't like it because it has too many plastics for you, or you don't like the color, or let's say the screen that kind of floats out there in the middle, although they did a better job integrating that than I thought they were going to, then it's a valid dislike, I suppose. But that's personal preference, I think. Let's talk about fuel economy. You know, I think the big fuel economy controversy all began back when the new redesigned Tundra was introduced. You know, we all thought that it was going to be some phenomenal increase in fuel economy, like going to the turbo or twin turbo V6 or even the hybrid was going to give us 50, 60 miles per gallon, some crazy number, right? And when that didn't happen, everybody was disappointed. Now, what I'm getting in this truck right now is right around 18 miles per gallon, 17.8, 17.9. Compared to what I had before, it's definitely an improvement. But if it's not enough of an improvement to justify going out and spending your hard-earned money on to save a little bit of gas at the pump, then that's a valid complaint. And honestly, I do wish that when I looked at that gauge down there, right there in the center, you guys can see on the right in green, I guess, I do wish that that number was in the 20s. That would be nice. Now, full disclosure, it probably would be if I did more long distance or freeway type driving. That number that you see is indicative of city type driving, maybe with some 55 mile an hour or so roads thrown in, but it's not going to be as high. So it's not really a fair comparison, but nonetheless, it is better than what I was getting in my 2023 third gen. Lastly, we've got to talk about, I guess, the engine itself, the 4-cylinder turbo. You know, I hear a lot of complaints about there. People are guessing, well, it's not going to last as long. It's not going to be as capable. It's not going to do what a real truck should do. Well, first of all, what a real truck should do is determined by the person that wrote the check, right? I mean, what I use my truck for is what a real truck does for me. As far as the concern and the fear, is it warranted? Isn't it warranted? No. I mean, how can you say that it's a bad engine and a bad setup when we don't know? It's merely guesses based on fear. A lot of that information, I guess, you see out there, I honestly think comes from competition. I think the competitors are seizing the moment. You know, Toyota with the Tacoma is number one. They've taken the moment to try to discount it, jump on it, point out anything they can think of that might be considered a weakness in the market. That's to increase fear, I think, of potential buyers out there, to drive them towards their own products. You know, this is Toyota we're talking about, right? Known for quality and reliability. Do you think they're just going to throw that out? I mean, it would be company suicide, I think, if they did something like that. Anyway, I wanted to get on and kind of cover a few of the valid reasons why the 2024 Tacoma isn't good, if you feel that way. And most of that stuff is personal preference, the same as what you would, I guess, use in looking at any vehicle. Leave a comment. Let me know. What have I missed? What valid concerns based in reality, not conjecture, rumor, and guesses, that make the Toyota Tacoma, the new Tacoma, not very good? I'd be curious to know what you think. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.